Yup, that's me. Hello, I'm Kempalicious, and I have one question. Are you for skin or against skin? Enough of my stolen jokes. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Today, I am designing an alternate Core 6 for Monster High. The original Core 6 consists of Frankie Stein, Cleo Denial, Draculora, Claudine Wolf, Laguna Blue, and Gulia Yelps. I'm pretty sure Abby Abominable is a Core 6 alternate. In this video, I'm going to draw 3 of the characters I came up with. Personally, I think they came out perf, but, you know, do let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome to my channel, and let's get into the video. This is Zombie Hawkfeather, a character I created a while ago. I think for a TikTok, but I'm not completely sure. They/them are an elf that is undead, aka a zombie. And no, their name isn't clever, but it's cute. This is their color palette. These are the characters that represent them personality-wise, and this is the Monster High Ghoul they are replacing in my Core 6. I chose them to replace Frankie because I think they have similar storylines. Plus, they are both currently non-binary, which is nice because I'm not into minority erasure, if you know what I mean. Zombie is, or I should say was, an elf from the elf world. I kinda want to call it the High Realm, so I will. In the High Realm, Zombie was a gym rat who lived for the pump. Back in the High Realm, they were so caught up in trying to be the perfect High Elf son of one of the most prominent Sun Elves families in the realm. They didn't allow themselves to live their true authentic lives. Before their untimely death, Zombie passed away in the 80s during a war with the Dark Fae at only 16. Gone before being able to truly express themselves. But alas, sometime later, a young witch who got lost while dimension hopping stumbled into an elven burial ground. And while allegedly shit-faced, she cast what she thought was a return to home spell, trying to summon a portal. Instead, she actually casted a resurrection spell. But before she could even realize she casted the wrong spell, she passed out in the soft grass. That night, Zombie was resurrected. They clawed their way out of their grave mostly intact, looking the same as they did before their death. Except for one thing. Their skin was purple, and their skin not yet rotted lacked the effervescing glow of a sun elf. For a while, they wallowed in the grave, in a fugue state trying to process their existence. Then slowly, as their soul spread through their body and the fog in their mind cleared, they screamed! And they screamed, and they screamed, until they noticed a young woman about their age sprawled out on the grass next to them. Zombie had never seen anyone like this before, but a sudden urge to protect her and a sense of home flooded their mind. They crawled out of the grave, and with the young witch in their arms, they made their way, using a sixth sense and muscle memory, to Zombie's home. That's where their Monster High journey would begin. Essentially, after taking the witch to their home, Zombie decides to confront and let them know they are non-binary and queer, and apparently a zombie. While their parents were okay with the news of their identity, they weren't sure how to handle newfound zombiedom. But taking accountability for her actions, the young witch spoke about a school called Monster High, which she attends, and how it helps young monsters understand themselves and better themselves. Zombie would be one of the main components for the overarching storylines of my Monster High show/season. That would have a lot to do with the Dark Fae, war that was won by the High Elves, but the Dark Fae still exist, and they seem to be coordinating something. To help stop them, maybe for good, they will need the help of the Core 6 and other friends made at Monster High. Most of their time spent during that first semester of Monster High would be about Zombie trying to come to terms with this newfound identity, with being undead. High elves tend to pride life in all things natural. Not that they are dead, they have to learn to accept it and understand it, while also making new friends, going to class, and learning how to be social in the new age. I mean, how is a ghoul supposed to cope with being undead and maintain their 25,000 followers on Screech Talk? I talked about how before they die, Zombie was basically just a gym rat. That's literally all he was. A young person who was unconsciously, or maybe consciously, committed themselves to becoming a perfect son. At the time, that meant being strong above everything else. Now that they are alive again, or I guess I should say, undead, they get the opportunity to reinvent themselves and enjoy existing outside of their intended duty. Kinda like Frankie. They are both new ghouls in school who are unsure where they fit in and who they are, which is why Zombie is the Frankie of my Monster High Core 6. Outside of their gym rat persona, Zombie has a penchant for kindness and a fondness for life. Zombie is a sun elf of the Hawkfeather family, which means they have wings, which they use to fly high in the sky, almost like touching the sun when they were alive. They spent hours outside in the sky.
Look at all those chickens!
I mentioned a young blue witch in Zombie's story. Well, this is her I'm drawing now. Her name is Serena Selena Spellmite. Isn't that name fab? A clever, overconfident, yet powerful young witch. Serena comes from a family of witches that are direct descendants of Hecate, the goddess of witchcraft. She also has three younger sisters who are triplets that also go to Monster High, but that's not really important. I just wanted to mention it. Serena is a bit of a party girl, oftentimes skipping class and dimension hopping to get to the best parties. The day before she met Zombie was a particularly troubling day before her. Her mothers had been scolding her for slacking on her studies. Luckily, they weren't aware she was also dimension hopping to get to parties. She paid her sisters in extremely strong glamour spells to keep quiet. That night, she went to two clubs and a house party. At some point, someone offered her snake venom, and she soon lost count of how many she was having. While a little inebriated, she casted a portal spell trying to get home. In the middle of the party, a portal opened and she stepped through. While under the snake venom's influence and weak from casting portal spells all night, she ended up in the high realm in a burial place for elves. With her vision blurry, she stumbled through the maze of headstones, unaware of her surroundings, but aware she isn't back at school. She stands in front of a headstone and lifts her hands and shouts an incantation. Lights flash and a spell comes out of her, but a portal was not created. With the last of her energy spent, she crashed to the ground and fell asleep in the soft grass. The last thing she remembers is someone screaming out loud, and then she was out like a light. Serena woke up in a frilly pink room with high ceilings that was filled with light. Butterflies rushed into the room and swarmed her. As she swatted them away, she tumbled out of bed and soon realized she was falling. Before she hit the ground, a gust of wind and arms around her carried her back up into the sky, and then slowly they cascaded back down to the ground. A purple person with hawk-like wings stood in front of her, and slowly faint memories of last night flooded her mind. With a gasp, she stepped back and swore because she knew her parents were going to skin her alive. She explained to Zombie, the person who saved her, what she had done. Not that it wasn't already obvious, and later she helped explain some things to their parents. Then she takes her new friend back to Monster High with her, along with another guest, who I'll introduce later. Serena and Zombie would have tied storylines. They would be the center of the show. Plotline wise, she would be helping Zombie deal with the growing threat of the Dark Fae and helping them assimilate to the school, which also helps her see the beauty in the school and the friends and life she was neglecting. Helping Zombie would be a big part of her overarching storyline. It would bring a sense of purpose to her life she's been longing for. These are the characters that best represent Serena's personality. This is her color palette, and this is the Monster High ghoul she would replace in my Core 6. I chose Claudine because they are both confident, independent, and stylish. Also, Claudine always felt like the realest out of all of them. She was a baddie with great opinions. And sassy, but in a good way. That's the energy Serena would carry, but with the slight sarcastic, dry humor of Abby Abominable. Serena is a witch, but also a nymph. One of her moms is a witch and the other a nymph. She is the oldest daughter, like Claudine. Her symbol or monogram would be stars and moons. Her personal style would be Y2K whimsy goth, with a little club kid and streetwear influence. Personality-wise, she would be open-minded and strong-willed with a secret fangirl obsession. She's a night owl with random sparks of energy. That could be because she's addicted to energy drinks. I originally chose blue skin for her character because in Lore Olympus, Hecate also has blue skin, and I thought that would be a cute homage to one of my favorite webcomics. I also changed the hue of a Claudine photo I found on Pinterest and used those colors for Serena's color palette. I used a few Sabrina Spellman references because I think she would use her power in a similar way. It's very campy. I think she would use it like that. The amulets she wears on her arms are amplifiers that help amplify her power in dire situations. And they keep her connected to her family, Coven. It also helps them link their powers whenever needed. Her shirt says Magic, which is a fake band I created in this video that I did months ago. This is the band she is a secret, not so secret fangirl of. Also, I'm not sure if it's super clear, but these are baby blue ombre tights she's wearing under her shorts. Speaking of her design, I'm starting to realize I draw very small. Compared to this drawing of Claudine, my design's proportions are so tiny. I really have to work on that. I don't know if I should use bigger canvases or just tinker with my proportions, or maybe I should do both. I had fun with this background. I wanted it to have a early 2000s teenager's room / movie poster vibe.
Bitch, you gon' step on my fucking toe, bitch, with them fucking cowgirl fucking boots, bitch, disgusting.
So this is Ella Elfman, the second character I designed for this video, and the third member of the Core 6. Ella Elfman is the whimsical Earth Elf cousin of Zombie. Ella is a bit of an enigma to me. There is so much I want her to be, and so much I feel she can get into storyline-wise. But I don't know. There is this ethereal, whimsical mystery about her. Ella is also like her cousin, a high elf born of a highborn family. Unlike her cousin, she is not a sun elf, but a earth elf with sun elf tendencies. Sun elves have an eternal youthful glow from within, the power to create light and to control the natural sunlight. They are also characterized by huge hawk-like wings that are usually white and gold. But since Zombie is undead,
Their wings.
black and blue. Does that remind you of anything? Anyway, Ella doesn't have wings or a particularly youthful glow. Honestly, at some point she kind of started to look a little old, a little grandma-ish, if you will. But she can do the light tricks. She is Sun Elf on her mother's side and Earth Elf on her father's side. Earth Elves are kind of like hobbits. They tend to dwell closer to the earth, sometimes living underground. They are the ones who tend to the earth and help it thrive. They tend to be busybodies who spend time tinkering and workshopping. They have a unique set of powers that allow them to communicate and guide plant life with their will. Some of them can even transport through the earth itself. Kinda like Selena Gomez in Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie, or like Alder in Motherland Fort Salem. After Zombie was brought back to life, Ella was tasked by her parents to go with her cousin to the Monster High school. She wasn't going to protect them, but to be there as support and a sign from their family that they all still love and support Zombie. While at the school, her main storyline would be about helping her cousin assimilate not only to the school, but also to life itself. These are the characters that represent her personality. This is her color palette, and this is the Monster High ghoul she would replace in my Core 6. I chose Ghoulia to be replaced by her because, like Ghoulia, she would be a huge support system for the rest of the characters. Ella is a grounded character with a soft lack of extreme emotions like Ghoulia. Ella is soft-spoken but an absolute ball of light. She dresses like Pink Pantress a little bit. She loves jewelry. She's soft and sweet. She's a full-blown horse girl and has a crush on a centaur at the school. She doesn't talk about it because she's not sure how to feel about it. She's quirky and still manages to seem statuesque. She also has a huge elf enchanted sword following her around. I named it Sparrow. Now, I randomly want to talk about the new G3 animated Monster High show. Well, I guess it's not that new, but it's new enough. Keep in mind, I haven't finished it. Honestly, I'm at the point where they have just introduced Abby and Claude into the plot, which is a bit of a pet peeve I have with the show. I'll say I like how they handle the storyline, but why the fuck didn't they make Claudine and Howleen siblings in the first place? They made Howleen a rando with horrible hair and style. None of the Wolf siblings have that iconic Brooklyn Dominican accent, but at least they still have Latin heritage. They did the same thing to Laguna and Abby. I'll give it some leeway because it makes way for other ethnic backgrounds, but the voice acting just isn't as effective. Also, why the hell are Toralei and Laguna besties? It makes no sense. Also, Laguna is a bit of a villain at times and annoyingly vicious. I guess it's better than being lovesick all the time. Also, for some reason, Cleo isn't head bitch in charge anymore. They made her a shell of her original self. She's not as badass, cutthroat, or bossy as she used to be. She still has a flair for the dramatics, but now it seems to be based on fear, which sucks. I mean, her queenie cunty bad bitch behavior that was fueled by passion, love, and a superiority complex.
just fell out of a coconut tree?
So, that's the end of the video. These are the drawings, and I hope you enjoyed. These are my socials, and this is my media wrap for the week. My favorite movies this week, or past week, were Kiss Him, Not Me. This is my Letterboxd review of it. Pause to read. I also really enjoy Breakfast with Scott. This is the review I left on Letterboxd. Pause to read. I'm currently trying to get through Gone with the Wind, the book, but I had to read some smut to change pace. So I finally finished Called the Coroner by Avril Ashton, and Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus is by far my favorite song right now. I made 2 edits using it. They are kinda good. I'm also in love with Tonight by Pink Pantheress, Magician by Lexi Liu, and Bounce by Sophie Santana. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today, folks. Stay cunty and slay the house down, boots. Stay campalicious, and also...
What the Sigma?